Hello. In this particular video, we will be um, looking into CSS units. Okay, we want to clear that out of you as well. There are different units. Okay, there is the M unit. Okay, EM. Like if you want to give an element a font. Okay, you want to say to EM, for instance. We want to also demonstrate how it relates to the parent tag. Okay? What changes, how the behavior you're expecting as the parent tag, as you increase the font of the parent tag, how it affects the child tag whose unit is EM. Okay? Then if the child tag, the unit is pixel, okay, what changes? If you have been following our designs, you'll notice that we work with EM often. We have our reasons. Okay, in this video we want to show you and demonstrate what changes, okay, so that you get to decide where you want to go from there. Okay, the one that suits you the most. Okay? But it's very important that you understand the behavior. Okay, what changes, what you're looking for. Okay, it builds your comfort and it gives you more control if you understand the behavior. Okay, you're expecting in these while using these units. Okay, so without saying much, let's get started.
Okay, we start. Okay, of course, you know how we got here. Okay, if you followed our previous video, the one we made previously, we did explain how to insert scripts, why we put this differ, and async. There's the async. Okay, so you can hover over it. That the browser should, if possible, load the script asynchronous. Okay, you can hover over it and read the instructions. Okay, you can also hover over anyone and read the instructions and know why it's included. Okay, if you're using Visual Studio Code. Okay, so we are going with differ. Okay, the reason why we are going with differ we will explain, okay, in our coming class. Okay, and of course this is for character encoding. This is declaration. Okay, for it's kind of to prevent our page from loading in a quirky, if you may, just to take the HTML big term aside. When you put this doc type HTML, you are kind of telling the browser that this is an HTML5 version, if you may. Okay, so it's not in quirky mode, if you may. Okay, like IE 5 or 5.5 and all that. Okay, this is the kind of the, if I should say, the standard way of representing. Okay, you put the exclamation mark doc type HTML. Okay, this is car sets, the encoding. It's expected to use UTF-8. Okay, if you hover over it, must contain a, you can just hover over it and read it later on your own. Okay, authors are encouraged to use UTF-8 or doc type or HTML. Okay, the IntelliSense is not coming out in this one. Okay, and this one of course is for, we are just clearing this out of the way. Okay, you can read it up later on your own because we are diving straight into development. Okay, this one is just kind of for compatibility, you know. It's kind of, we are defining how the behavior we are expecting, especially on IE, Internet Explorer. Okay, Edge means the latest version of IE. Okay, so if you are targeting Internet Explorer 11, you may drop this. Okay, because I think Internet Explorer 11 has lost support. You don't necessarily have to use this anymore. Okay, but if you plan to target, say, 9 for instance, or 8, okay, you may want to use it, but we are going with Edge. Okay, because with Edge we are targeting the latest Internet Explorer. Okay, so of course this is the viewport, the initial scale. So how we want our app to appear initially. Okay? This means it will zoom in. you can use 0.5. Okay, if you go to our website is 0.5, so it zooms out. The text may be a little, but not too tiny, so you can zoom in on the text and read the sections you want to read. Okay, it depends on the it depends on you as the programmer. Okay, the one that suits you the most. Okay, so you can play around with this, put it, select one, refresh the page and see what changes. Then you can also select 0.5 and see what changes as well. Okay, so of course this is to tell the crawler, Google crawler, whether to crawl the page. That is, no follow means don't follow any link on this page to other pages. You can say follow, you can say no follow. Okay, you can say no index, so it means do not index this page. So it means that crawler index, you can just, if you hover over, it means okay. So crawler index this page and follow links on the page. Okay, this no index does just, what it means is do not index this page. Okay, so it means that this page is possible won't be seen on Google search engine. Okay, it won't be indexed. Okay, and no follow means do not follow any link in this page. Okay, so there are other meta tags that you can include as well to kind of define the behavior of your website. Okay, they're all included in the head, within the header tag. Okay, now another thing to take away is that if you really insist on using this, try as much as you can to keep it next to this head. Okay, it's good here, don't keep it here. Okay, do not keep it here, because how do I put it, so when IE is interpreter, or when IE starts to interpret this page, okay, it tries to use the latest engine. Okay, so as soon as it comes, it hits this meta tag. This meta tag tells this particular here, tells IE that, hey, this author has specified a version, okay, which is Edge, so it wants to use this versions engine to interpret. That means it will start the interpretation afresh. So this can cause can give a behavior to the user. Okay, so it's recommended to keep it next to this head. Okay, if you're working with this meta, okay, don't keep it down, no, keep it next to this head, just as close as possible to this head. Okay, so we will be creating a single page. Okay, just one page. So we'll be selecting our photo. Okay, this is the photo we are working with. I'll just click here and click this photo. We've chosen this photo as our header. Okay, then the next we'll be working with so you can say here. And I'll give it an ID. Okay, I'll say first. So if I come here, so as we are going through this, we'll be explaining also, because we mentioned in the intro that we'll be talking about CSS units. Okay, so we'll be working with them as well. CSS will play a very important part here. So we are doing design, so we wouldn't be needing backend that much. So because it is an ID selector, so you use hash. Okay, so the same background, there is the URL. Okay, there is the pic.jpg. This is how we do. Then there is the background. Repeat. Take no repeat, you don't want it to repeat itself. Okay, there is the background size. Okay, cover, you need cover, so that to cover the whole tag. Okay, and look good. I think these are the two major ones I need. Then I want to filter it, of course. filter contrast. I need this contrast 120%. Okay. Then I want to give the height, okay, of, I want to go with 30 em first and see what that is. Okay, see, this em is a unit, CSS unit. Okay, what it means is it's kind of derived from typographic, all these typographic fields. Okay, if you may, m is like the width of an m, like the letter m, m-n-o-p, m. So that's, I think that's where it's derived from. Okay, so it's recommended to use this because it's absolute. Sorry, it is relative. Okay, in that if you use 30 em and it's a child, okay, if you're increasing the parent, if you give the parent 30 pixel, for instance, if this were to be font size, okay, if this were to be font size, for instance, you do a 30 em and this happens to be a child tag. The parent tag, if you give the parent tag 30 pixel, okay, and later increase it to 40 pixel, as you're increasing it, the 30 em will be increasing as well. Okay, it will still make sense. If you don't understand what I said, it will make sense. Okay, but if you give the child tag, if you give the child tag maybe 30 pixel, it stays that way, it doesn't change. Okay, it stays that way even if you increase the parent font to 40 pixel, 50 pixel, and you give the child font let us demonstrate. Okay, so that will make sense. Okay, say for instance I have hello parent. Okay, then I have a span of then if I say font size of 20 pixel, so we are just clearing this out of the way. Okay, then if I bring this point to this span, this means, what this means is this is the parent and the span inside it. Okay, it works this way in CSS. Okay, if I say font size, if I say font size of 2 em maybe, so if I should refresh this, okay, let me just our image is showing. I just need to adjust that, so it's good to clear this unit thing out of the way so that hello parent. Okay, hi child. Okay, now if I decide to increase this parent, okay, this is the parent 20 pixel. If I say 40 pixel, now you notice that this child will increase as well. Is it? It's increasing. But if I should say 2 pixel or 12 pixel, for instance, okay, you see, it doesn't move. It's fixed. It's not relative. It's absolute. That's what we mean by absolute. It's not relative. Okay, it's fixed. It doesn't matter how much I increase this, even if I say 70 pixel. Okay, it is still fixed. It doesn't move. Only the parent moves. Okay, so that's another thing to keep in mind when you are working with these units. Okay? So as we advance, we'll be discussing more units. Okay, this is too much. I'll just have to comment that. This is just an example. I don't need this. The only thing I need is this, just to kind of highlight the importance of em and pixel. Okay, now another thing you can do is you can do a body. Okay? And you say margin 0, padding 0. So if you don't know what this means, let me show you. If I come here, okay, let us expand this and give it a height of 40 em, okay. I need to my back end is still showing. I just have to come here and I just have to come here, and these are the backends I did. Okay, I just have to come here and remove them all and do this again. I still have backend here. My back end is still showing. I just have to, okay, is this guy. Just have to remove this guy, and that's it. Okay, I think I have something here. Okay, it's true. I use this to serve my template. I need my templates here, and that means I have to come here and here, and I have to come here. These are some of the examples I did previously. I just have to comment this out, you know, and I think I'm good to go. Just have to do this. Yes, good. Okay, you see, this is good. This is nice. So I just have to close this. Okay, then I have to close this. Then I'm working with my template. So this is my header section. I'm using the header tag. Okay, I'm using the header tag. Okay, then I've achieved this. So we have to be quick about this. Okay, and this is the first thing the user sees when they come here. Okay, so I'm going to, the next thing I'll have to do is I want to let me see if I can. Oh, I have this. I want to have I want to have oh, this is not working. Okay, I want to have some menus, if you may, that is options here. Okay, I want to have some options here so that it will start looking like a real website, like about us, contact us, and so on. Okay, there are different ways to go about it, but the best way is to make this div tag relative. Okay, then you have another div in it that website. Okay, you can do it that way, it will work. Or you just go ahead and say div. Okay, you can use list, but I don't want to use list. Okay, I want to use a div. Okay, say contact. Yes. Just about. Okay, this is services maybe. This one would be brand. Oops. Category. Okay, so I want to do a display. I will say class, because this display I'll be using it often in this script, so I will say display. Then I will come here. It will be a class because I'll be using it often. It's not the first time I'll be using it. So this, if I comment it out, okay, and if we look at our design, you see these white lines here. That's the margin. So you want to say 0. Okay, you want to say 0. Is the margin. The margin is responsible for that. Okay, it's done. So we don't want that. We want to say 0. Okay, then I say dot display. Okay, you say display. I want to flex it. Okay, then you say yes, I want to flex it. Let me leave it this way for now. Okay, then this is the class. Yes, I want to give it an ID. I don't want to use that class to style it, because if I do that, that means every other tag we inherit that property. I don't want that. I'll give it an ID. I'll say I may call it option div, option top div, because I may have another option div. Let me put top. Okay, then I will say hash. Okay, so we are keeping it simple. There are more properties to consider, but let's just keep it simple. Okay, so that it doesn't take too much time. Okay, so I want to say color hash ff. This is white. Okay, then if I do this, okay, you see it's white, and you say I don't like where it is. Now another thing, another way to inspect your tag, your parent tag, is to give it a border to know the behavior. Border solid in red. Okay, so I've given it a border. Okay, so I will now check the behavior to see where it is. Let's see. Okay, it stretches to the very end of my my screen, if you may. Okay, so it starts from the beginning and stretches. This is 100%, 100%. Okay, or 100 VW, that is viewport width. Okay, so this is good. So I can now say justify content center to bring them at the center. Okay, so when you do this, you see they are now here. Okay, but you see that there are no spaces in between. They don't have spaces in between. It's not good. Okay, it's not good. I can say space in between, space between, or space around, space around. Okay, if you do this way, you see they have spaces. That means what I'll do now is I will say width of this, I'll say 50%. Okay, then I will say margin, then I'll give it open. Okay, so it becomes this, you see. So this is 50 from here to here, 50%, 50%. Okay, that is half of this width. Okay, so this is good. Okay, but I'm not still happy, if you may, with this design, because it doesn't look good. You can hardly see it. Okay, you can hardly see it. So I want to give this red, this parent, a background. Okay, I will say background color. I will say background or background color. I will say hash 000. It means black, or you just write black. It still will work. Okay, you see, now you can see. Now let me remove this. I don't need this anymore because I've inspected it and I know where my work is. Okay, you see it. I don't like this font, so it's entirely up to you, the developer, what you like and what you don't. I really don't like this font, so I have to change it. I have to go with, there's a font called this font I'll be using often, so I will have to do root. Okay, root lets you define variables, if you may, in your CSS. So I will say f farm, that is font family. Okay, then I will say Century, there's a font called Century Gothic. Okay, so that if you come here, you say font family, you say var, okay, then you say f farm. Okay, so if I refresh it, you see I have now an awesome font that's worked for me. Okay, this thing is the same as saying font family Century Gothic. It's still the same. Okay, but the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I'll be using this farm to style other tags. So instead of writing it this way everywhere, being redundant, I want to avoid that. I just want to write it once and use it everywhere. Okay, so I will have to remove this and work with this one. Okay, so this is it. Then another thing I don't like about this is that there are no spaces. If you look at if you observe this contact us at the top, there is no space. At the bottom, there is no space. Okay, I don't like it. It's not good. So I'll give it a padding. To solve it, you say padding. I'm going 1 em. Okay, I say padding of 1 em. You see? Now there is space here at the top and there is space below. Okay, now I can just do a little opacity. Opacity means it will be a bit invisible. I can say 0.7, okay, so that you'll be seeing the background as well. You see, something like this. So you can see the background a little bit. Okay, you can say 0.6 as well. You just have to adjust it to the point that you see something like this. You can see the background. I think this is good. Then another thing I can do is I can give it a little top margin, okay, because it's too attached to the top edge of my screen. So I will say 1 em. Okay, then that means I want it to come down a little bit. Okay, and of course it's taking the whole thing. So to solve this problem, what you have to do is say position. Okay, you do a relative. Okay, then you say top. Okay, so that it doesn't drag our header along. Okay, you see, so our header is now that is the picture I meant to say, is now good, while this comes down all by itself. So you see that this edge is a little bit sharp, and sometimes I leave it this way, sometimes I just don't. Right now I don't like it that way, so I will say border radius. Okay? I can say 0.5 em for now to see what changes. Okay, you see, it's no longer sharp. Okay, I have kind of given it a curve, and I like it this way. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to create another div. Okay, to bring this back on, or I'll just create another div here, because I'm still working on my I'm still working on my header. Okay, so I can just say, I'll just close this right here. Okay, I can just say div, then I will say maybe the name of this website, or the owner is maybe let's say Mako Fresh, perhaps, just any name just to go with it. Maybe the name of the owner. Then I'll say ID, say Mako logo. Okay, so this is where the logo, you may want to put the logo, or you put the logo next to this place, somewhere here. or you may just find it all here. Okay, in most cases, some developers put it here or put it somewhere here. Just find somewhere nice and decent and put your logo. Okay, because the the picture has a name already on it. I'm just saying the Swish. Okay, so let's go with that name so that it will make sense. Okay, let's just say that the owner of this website supplied you with a photo, their photo, and the name of the organization is the Swish. Okay? So we will definitely say the Swish. Okay? So I can just say Swish logo. Okay? So I have to now go ahead and style this. Okay? So I say, okay. First thing I want to do, because it's a brand name, I want to say font size. I first want to, I can use a pixel, but I like to use EM, so I can say for EM. Okay, then I can say color. I can still go with white. Then I can say okay, let me see it and see what it looks like, the switch. Okay, then I can say text align. You say center. Okay, you want it to come to the center. Okay, when you check it, the switch is here. You see it's touching this guy here, and I don't like it. They have to space out. Okay, so I will say top margin. I'm giving it 2em. Okay, 2em may be too big because it has, I've given it a font. It is really too little bit too big. So let me just say 1em. Okay, let me keep it here. Okay, so this is the part where you want to tell whoever that owns this website whether they need, they have any special font, or whether they have any logo. Think of a style they want in terms of how they want the um browser, sorry, the website, if you may, to be presented. Okay, you, I wouldn't choose the font by myself, okay? But if you did, the owner may still end up rejecting the font because they don't, well, maybe it could be for the simple reason that they don't like it. So but let's go with this font. The only thing I can do is I will just say letter, no, not letters, text shadow. There's the text shadow. Okay, where you say 1 pixel, 1 pixel, then maybe I'll give it a black. Okay, let me see, I think it has to be 3 1. Okay, you see that's text shadow under the text. Okay, so you can just you can still, I think there is a font family that is called magenta. Okay, magenta. Yes, there's also fix and there is outfit. Okay, it's entirely up to you. I think okay, for some reason the unless perhaps I'm not writing it properly, I can just go with Saint Godwin. Essentially Godwin is coming up. Okay, okay, let's go, let's continue with this one. Okay, okay, this is the name, the switch, because So the next thing I want to do here is I want to introduce another div tag, okay, to kind of give this page some perspective. Okay, now remember, if you are having a problem with font, if you are sure that this font works but it doesn't work, it means that you have to download that font from Google supplies font, free font, then use a font face to target it. Okay, so the font file, you bring it into your directory, then target it directly with font face. Okay, font face rule. Okay, so but let's just keep it simple and go with this. I don't want to go too deep into targeting fonts. Okay, so in case you see a font family and you try to use it and it doesn't work, remember you need to download it, bring it in as a file, then target it with font face. Okay, okay, then the next thing I will do is I want to come out of here and I want to say section. Okay, then I want to say, now remember, you can still write code without this header and section. Okay, it's due to a tutorial reason that I'm writing these things explicitly. You can just ignore this and use your demo div. I don't see why not. It works. Okay, so in this case I have to say I will definitely say I want to bring in a div here. Okay, maybe I'll give a quote here and say I am switching up, just anything. Switching up. Okay, I could just say I am switching up. Okay, then under it I need another div, of course, where we say maybe I will say, normally I used to get just a dummy text, but you can just write anything here. But let's just, to keep it fast, let's employ a dummy text. Some of I just put a dummy text just keep it here. Okay, of course in the real thing you have to write something meaningful here, something that the user can read and understand what this what page is about. So I will say ID, of course. Maybe I'll say parent section first. This name is too long, but it doesn't have to be too long. Then I want to give it hash. Then I want to open it up because I'll be placing the property. Okay, I'll close this. Then this I am switching up, I want to target it. Okay, so I can give it an ID, of course, or I can just say I can say this, then I'll do a div. Okay, this means that target the first, all the divs that are direct children to this parent tag. Okay, if I were to have another div inside, don't target it. That's what that greater than means. Okay, so only target this one and this one. If there's any div inside it, don't target it. So then I want to say, I want to use one of the students. I want to say there's a n, I have to write this n child, yes, place 1, it means the first div. Okay, then if you say color red, so it will make sense what this is about. Okay, if you refresh this page, you see it's targeting the first. I am switching up. Okay, but this is not how I want it to be. Okay, I need a font, of course. size of maybe I'll say 5 em perhaps. Okay, then this parent right here, I will definitely say width of, I want to go with 60%. Then I will say margin, I will say auto. Okay, what this means is that give me a 60% width, then come to the center. Margin auto means come to the center. Okay, to see it, you give it a border. Okay, border solid in right. Okay, I want to see it. You see, it's at the, it's, this one is at the top, and this one is at the top, of course. Switching up, yes, I'm switching up, of course, and it has appeared at the center. You see, so this is the text we wrote. Okay, but I can still shorten this. I want to shorten it, so I will say I'll give them both parent. Okay, or if I like, I'll say come here, copy this. Okay, and if I copy it, let me see, I'll remove this, of course. Then I will say width of 30% maybe. You see, they're on one side now. So if I do a border here to see them, so this is how you inspect your tag. If you want to have a visual inspection, if you may, you just give it a border to see what is really happening. See there where they are. So this is it. So I want to bring this guy up. I want to bring this guy up. Okay, I just want to bring this guy up. Okay, it will be very important that I do so. Okay, I want to bring it up, okay, so that it will make more sense for me, because I want it to interact with, at least to come here. Okay, so I can, there are ways you can do it. You can take this. Someone might decide to take this in here header, but I don't like that. Just give this for, and also for tutorial reason, okay, give this a position this relative. Okay, position is relative. Then you do a top, just a top. You say minus, maybe you say 30 em is too big, maybe say 20 em, something like this. Maybe 25 em. Okay, it's a 25 em. Okay, so I have to quickly proceed, and so originally, as your design, you have to be shrinking this browser to be inspecting the behavior. If you push Ctrl S, to be inspecting the behavior of your design. Okay, but let's not go into it now. We will still talk about responsiveness. Okay, as you design, you have to be checking to make sure that everything is in order. Then we'll be working with media query. Okay, CSS media query to keep us in check so that your design goes well and behaves quite well across multiple platforms. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is um, we have to now I want to I want to remove this blue, of course. Okay, I don't need it anymore. Okay, so as we are designing, if there is something we have explained and perhaps due to maybe we are trying to speed up, and if there is something to call us back to, maybe something we said or we explained that you don't quite agree with, okay, please write us directly, okay, because this will help improve the quality of this tutorial. Okay, tell us, point us to it, okay, so that we will look into it and do the proper modification, okay, especially for the people who will be watching this video in the future. Okay, but we'll try as much as we can to bring you along in a way that um, it's not just professional, and also in a way that makes sense, okay, so that this will be easy for you. You can just take it from there and design whatever you want. Okay, then we have removed this, of course. So I want to give this red, I want to give this parent a background so that you can see this properly. Okay, so if I say if I come here, this one, I think, yes, if I say background, I can say #00. Okay, now there are different ways you can do this. Okay, but let's just go with black. Okay, you see black is too black, and of course I wouldn't go with this red. Of course, I'm saying #FFF is white. Okay, okay, then I'm taking away this border, of course, then I'm giving it padding. I've taken away this red border. Why I'm giving it padding is because notice that it is close, this I am switching up is close to this, the edge of this, and it's not good. Okay, I'm giving it border and I'm saying color. I'll just have to, because this is parent, I'll just have to bring this color here so that all the children will inherit this property. Okay, then I will say padding, of course. I'm giving it a 2em. Okay, okay, then I want it to be a little bit opacity 0.6. Okay, you see now I have opacity 0.6 here, then I have opacity 0.6 here. So this means I have to take this value and bring it to my roots and say I will say opace and say 0.6. Okay, so that I don't have to be, because it means that I have two opacities with the same value. I can now gracefully say var opaque. Okay, this way it reduces the redundancy. Okay, then I will return back here and do the same thing. Okay, that is it. Okay, okay, but you see, one would argue that this is affected as well. I'm trying to achieve I am switching up, I'm trying to achieve an opacity, but it's kind of influencing this. Okay, it's also influencing this, so you may want this to be brighter. Okay, you may want it to be brighter. Okay, so the way to achieve this is quite simple. You can say you may want to remove this if you wish. Okay, and come to background. Okay, I could just say background image. Okay, and I could decide to use linear gradients. Okay, so I could say I have brown here, so I could say I could choose the first one to be 180 degrees. Then I could say brown. It still will expect another color somewhere here, perhaps. Yes, you can say let me say, you can say hash f perhaps, maybe white. Let me see, something like this may work. Or I can just say this brown is not the brown. I can just do this brown and see how it works. Just it's about playing around with it to see how it suits you. Okay, but I still need that opacity though, irrespective of, because although I'm achieving this, but I still need that opacity. Okay, I could just decide to send this up a bit to see what my design will be. I don't necessarily have to stick with point 0.6. I could still come here and choose black. Okay, I think black makes so much sense. Okay, then I can still increase it a bit to 9. Okay, I think this is even more decent, although there was another method I was going to employ. Okay, but one would argue that that switch is, so you can just do a little you can just reduce something from this a little bit, something like that. Okay, then I think I'm having something here. Then I can just say I can say, okay, I can come here. This is first child, of course. Then I can just do this, or if I like, I'll give it a selector. I'll do 2. So what this means is the second one means this one. I'm targeting this one now. I will say font family. I will say Century Garden. Okay, this is it. But one would argue that you can barely see. So I could give it a color of, let me see, hash this gray and see how it goes. It's about it's not quite coming through the way I expect. So I can just if I say black and see what I'm looking at. Okay, black is not bad if you think about it. Okay, black is just not bad. Okay, then another thing I want to achieve here is I want to give this parent a shadow. It will make sense that it has a shadow. Okay, it will make so much sense for it to have a shadow. Okay, because it will make sense for it to have a shadow, because we want to kind of create that I said the illusion that it's floating on top of this guy under. Okay, so I can say there is the parent. I can say box. There is the my property called box shadow. I can say 1 pixel, 1 pixel, 1 pixel. No, I can say 16 pixel here. Then I can say 1 pixel. Then I can say I can choose black. Okay. You see, I'm having a shadow. You see, it has shadow on there, and it makes sense now that it has shadow. Okay. So I want to give a button here. Okay. So in the redesign, of course, it doesn't have to be. This is just a dummy text. You can write something here about the this brand. Okay. But here, this is a dummy text. Okay. So so one would argue that, or may argue that the switch is a bit redundant. So you could you could there's a way we can do this. I could comment this out a little bit. That means if I do comment it out, this parent will target this as the first. So let me leave it there and maybe remove this for now. Okay, no, not this, not this here, this right here. Okay, so if I comment this out, you see. So another thing I want to consider is this green right here. So if I could just, instead of this brown, which is good because there I can see brown somewhere, so my color blending, if you may, is not falling out. So remember, this is just tutorial, okay? In the real actual design, you really have to sit up quite well, and it might, of course, take days for you to really get what you're really looking for. But due to the time, and we are just setting this up to give you an idea, okay? So let me look for this green and see if I can blend it in, because if I match this green with this, it gives that it sure convinces any eye that sees it that the two come together. So this is another thing to consider when you are selecting I think we are here. If so, if mhm. I think this green is a bit teal. There's the color called teal. Let me just go with teal directly. I think if I go with teal, I think teal is somewhere here. Teal is somewhere here. Yes. If this doesn't work, then I'll write teal. Something like this. Good. This is perfect. Okay. So yes, I think this green is kind of coming together. Though that means I can also, to kind of get a perfect blend, I can also copy this color and come here, option top, then I can put it here. Okay, to kind of drive home, you see. So I'm having this green that goes with this switch, so it looks as if the two go together. Now, though this doesn't matter much, but you see that this is where my edge stops, but this one, it kind of extends. If I should make them to align, it will still add originality to this design. Okay, so if I come here and I say 63% perhaps, it's too much. Maybe 61 will do the job. Yes. Yes, okay, but I still have to say maybe 60. 0.5 maybe. Hmm. 0.3. No, 50.6 or 7 thereabouts. Or you can just do well. Let's continue with this. There are other ways you can target this properly without doing without doing this I'm doing right now, but just let's go with it. I think I need to. So another secret is, if you don't know the font to use, you can you can open up your Microsoft, okay, and check the fonts there. Okay, like I'm opening up my Microsoft right here, okay, and I will just say it's taking its time. I will just say Magento. This is Magneto. Oh, I didn't spell it right. I apologize for that. It's Magneto, okay. Here fonts, fonts family Magneto, okay. Magneto, okay. Let's put it here. But it's to an extent yes, but I'm not sure. I let me There's another font you can still, you can come here and explore the fonts, or you just search it online, okay. You just search it online, okay, and you get as many fonts, okay. Now if there's any font that doesn't align with your, or it doesn't work, if you try it doesn't work, use font face. You have to download the font, then target it directly, okay. You could use Roboto Black. Let's see Roboto Black and see if see what going to achieve here, okay. Okay, maybe we'll go with this. I'm switching up, okay. Then I need a button under this text. It's always good to have a button. So if you have your big text, then you write your little text, then it's always good to end it with a button under. It looks good most times, okay. So I will have my button here, definitely, okay. So let's go about it. So in most cases, many would prefer to do button and all that, but you can use a div as well to craft out, or should I say coin out a button, okay. It doesn't have to be button. I think with div you can achieve most things, if not everything you want as a designer. Just you have to know your CSS property, okay. So I could call it read more or learn more, okay. Learn more. Then I'll give this, okay. So I can do the pseudo where I say and 3, but I think it's starting to be too much, so I'll give it an ID here. I'll call it button learn div. So notice how I label my tags. I label them. I try to put a keyword that reminds me what this tag does, so that if I'm scrolling through my CSS properties, if I see it, I know what this can do, okay. I can say button learn more. This is good, okay. It saves time. You don't have to be wondering which tag has this, because as you develop, your CSS will be enlarging, okay. You get to thousands of lines of code, okay. So you want to label them well, so that when you look at it, you know what this does, the tag that has this particular I so much recommend that, because This way it makes your flow faster. Okay, so first thing I'm doing here is I'm doing a background color, of course, and I'm going with teal. It's still teal, but let us take that this color right here. Okay, so that we don't miss, we don't no, not here, right? Okay, so right now it will be stretchy and it won't look good. See, stretchy and it doesn't look good. So to adjust this, if you looking at this, a few things to take away from this, or a few things you really need here. You want to pad it first because they are too close, the letters are too close to the edges of the div. Then I may not I may not reduce this, or if I decide I will, but I will show you the two. You see that it still makes sense whether you want to reduce the width or you just leave it this way. It's still good if you do your styling properly. Okay, so then I will change the font family. Okay, I want it to match this one. Okay, or Roboto, but let it match this one. Okay, since it's a button. Okay, then I will change the edge. The edge is too sharp. Okay, you remember border radius. Okay, so and then I will send the text to the center, so I will do padding. Okay, I'm doing 1 AM for now. Then I will say font family. Remember we do a var first. Remember that file. Okay, then I will do align, not align, I think text align. I will do a center. Then I will do, let's see it first before we continue. Okay, okay, this is what we're looking at. So if I say border radius, if I do 0.5 mm maybe 0.5 mm. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. To me this is not bad, but I think the padding is a bit too much. I can say 0.5. Okay, then I can say let me see it. Then I can say top margin because it's too attached to that text above it, so I can say 1 em. Okay, you see, to me it's good. Then you notice that if you hover over it, it gives you this eye symbol. You want it to kind of respond to the user in a way that the user knows that this is a button and it is clickable. Okay, you can say cursor. There is a property called cursor. You say pointer. Okay, so that if you refresh, you see it's pointing now, so the user knows that they can click this. You can proceed to make the button move, saying transition. You say all points, maybe 2 seconds. You say easing. There is easing out, I think. Yes, easing out. Yes, yeah. So that's then when you do of course when you bring this up, you do hover. Yes, okay, you do hover. Okay, scale, say points, no, transform scale, you say 0.9. Okay, so that when you hover again, but this is, you see, it's kind of moving about this CSS animation thing. If it works for you, it works for you. Okay, I think it's good. It reminds the user that um, this is clickable. I can say with, I can say 5 p.m. maybe. Maybe I'll say, let me say 3 p.m. Let's see what happens. I'm expecting a change. Perhaps this is 5 p.m. For some reason I don't have, let me see. So for some reason it's just, so this important means but it's not supposed to it's not supposed to, I don't see why it's, I need to use important at the moment, but sometimes this just comes up like that. But that means insist on this, okay. This happens if you have assigned this with to this tag before unknowingly. Maybe you use the class selector to assign it. Now you are trying to use id, although I think id comes first before class. id has higher priority, if you may, compared to class. Okay, so yeah, but this is that's the only time I get this behavior. I'm surprised that I'm getting it right now, because I don't know why that behavior is, but this is the first time I'm giving this tag with, and let's see. I don't know why I got that behave. Okay, here, I did. Okay, okay. It's here. Okay, okay, it makes sense. Here I gave the whole tags up here 30%. Okay, that's why it didn't respond, because you have given it here. Okay, so to force it to respond, you say important. This is how you do it. Okay. So I'm saying 6 p.m. maybe 6 p.m. Let me say 2. Or I could just go with this is good, or I could just go with 20%. This right here. Okay, so this is it. So we have to proceed with the next stage. I think I'm done here. Okay, so if you have icons, or the owner of this website has icons, this is the best place to the best time to discuss it. Okay, you just have to place them here. There's an I tag. Okay, it goes with class. Okay, far. Okay, S is the solid, I think. Far, I think there is one. This is how if you're working with font awesome, I think this is how it works. Okay, this is the best place to put your tag. You can also include this in a span if you want, or in a span is good, so that they will be in line, so this doesn't come down. Okay, because div is a block line, a block element, if you may. Okay, okay, I is an inline. Okay, it means that it's if you use it with span, which is inline, the two will flow, the kind of be on the same line. One will come down. Okay, so you can leave it this way, or you use a span. Okay, okay, so I think we are done with this. Okay, so the next thing is to the next thing is to the next thing is, you know what, I'll just give this a class. Okay, and say first top, I think my keyboard has switched. Okay, first top div. Okay. Yes, I'll give it a class, and I'll come here and I'll give it a class. Okay, so that if I come here, I will then remove this and give it a class. If it's better this way so that it doesn't affect all my work. Then that means I don't need this important anymore. Okay, let me see. Everything is still fine. Everything is still fine. Okay. We then will continue, but I think this video is getting too long. Okay. So we will definitely I think it's best to see if we can stop here, okay, because it's getting too long. Yes, perhaps we will make another video to complete this. Okay, so this is how to kind of go about it. Now remember that this is just a tutorial. Okay, it's just kind of a rough sketch, if you may, to give you an idea. Okay, in the real thing, of course, we will be employing other concepts, okay, to kind of drive this design in a more advanced, if you may, and professional way, okay, with core skills, right? There are tools also involved. Like this photo, you still want to take it to a place like Photoshop, for instance, or GIMP, and kind of give it a touch before you now work with it. Okay, a lot of developers do that. They first go to one of these photo editing tools and kind of boost the quality of the image before now working with it. Okay, so I think we have to stop here. Perhaps as we wait for our first class, we will continue with this. Just like our articles, okay, if there is an objection or something you disagree with in this short tutorial, okay, please write us directly or point it out in the comment section, or in the send us a WhatsApp message. Okay, it helps. Of course, it will help this video expand in quality. Okay, and also it will help others who will be watching this video in the future. Okay, so that we will correct it and do the right or the necessary rectifications. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. Again, my name is Victor. Okay, in the next video we will definitely finish this design, or we will finish it in the third video. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.